So when I was freshly 16, I had my hoe phase. It lasted a week. And I'm gonna be so serious. I will recommend a hoe phase till the day I die because that week was the best week of my life and it changed me for the better.
The eyes are the window to the soul, and she seems batch crazy.
How to start a hoe phase in your mid to late 20s when you never had one when you were in college or when you were in your early 20s. Please tell me how to do this. I do not know how to do this. Thank you.
Girl, what? What do you mean start a hoe phase? The answer is you don't. This glamorization of having a hoe phase has to be studied. Cause girl, what exactly is drawing you towards wanting to have some kind of hoe phase? See, this is what they call a femcel. Everyone thinks that the incel culture, it just happens with men. No. There are what are called femcells, okay? Women who just can't get it for whatever reason. I mean, I think we can kind of see the reason, not putting enough effort into oneself. And I mean, your place is messy. I can see in the reflection. Your life must be a bit chaotic because usually your space really speaks to where you're at in life. And it looks like she's probably got a lot of chaos based on her background. This glamorization of a hoe phase is disgusting. This is the propaganda that's been pushed towards women, that it's somehow revolutionary to spread eagle to every man that it just makes me think that men were the ones who started this whole sexual revolution thing and, indoctrinated women to thinking that they were empowered by sleeping with as many men as possible. Because who does that actually help? It doesn't make you happier as a woman. It doesn't make you more valuable as a woman. It just makes you easily accessible to men. So I honestly believe, I think the psyop was that it was really men behind this entire sexual revolution. It's empowering for women to spread eagle because it just made women more accessible to men. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Why are we glamorizing having a hoe phase to the point where women are getting out here and begging for advice on how to be a hoe? Let's see how begging for advice towards having a hoe phase, let's see where that gets you. Let's look at her page because this video is old, right? This video is from 2020 during the pandemic. Let's see where she's at now. Okay, so as we can see, this was posted on August 29th. So, a little bit ago, but not too far gone. She's saying that this could be her Hinge bio now. So if you guys didn't know, Hinge is a dating app. So that means she's still on the market. So asking for advice on your hoe phase, it didn't quite get you anywhere. You're still out here dating. You're still out here in the hustle and the bustle trying to find somebody to mate with. Hoe phase isn't going to serve you. It's not going to make you a better woman. It's not going to give you so much fun and great memories. Honestly, when you talk to a lot of these women that have had hoe phases, they usually sound pretty depressed, right? They sound kind of sick and disgusted with themselves for all the men that they allow to touch their bodies. They start to feel really gross. Or sometimes they even start to hate men because they've been around the block way too many times. This hoe phase is to our own detriment as women. It's not going to serve us. Hopefully you're not still out here wanting to have some type of whore phase, because girl, no. No.
I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm in my hoe phase right now. Happiness over everything. Where's your mind?
So you're trying to be, clever and say happiness over everything. We know exactly what you mean, girl. Okay, Tia, we already know. We already know how you get down. You left your husband, whom you have children with, to go, I guess, graduate. You said you were graduating from the relationship. And now you're going to say, oh, well, the hoe phase just means happiness over a girl bye. We know exactly what this means, right? This is just more nonsense that women say to each other to feel better about their poor decisions. Go back home. Okay, go back home to that man. Actually, I think she tried to go back home and he said, no, okay, this is not cute. This is not the look. This is how you end up looking when you don't grow up, when you don't go through the natural progression through life, right? Where you're still trying to be out here competing with the younger women and acting like I still got it when you should be in a different different season of your life. You should be in the mentor, teacher, nurturer season of your life at this point. It gives desperate. It's not a good look, sis. It's really not a good look. And it makes me sad because I love Tia and Samara. Okay, Sister was my show, along with Twitches, all of that. I loved me some Sister. I love me some Tia and Samara, but this ain't it. And this is really how you destroy your brand.
So when I was freshly 16, I had my hoe phase. It lasted a week. And I'm gonna be so serious. I will recommend a hoe phase till the day I die because that week was the best week of my life and it changed me for the better. Just listen. So whenever I say I have a hoe phase, like I don't mean a hoe phase like oh my gosh, like you're actually doing stuff. No, my rules, dare I say, float around, have a fun time. You can kiss people, but that's it. Like that's the extent of it because you're not gonna do anything where like you're gonna get hurt, okay? And obviously you can only kiss somebody if they want to kiss you and like don't want a relationship. Like ew, that's where it gets weird. And before you guys get any further instincts, wait, why am I saying instincts? I met my boyfriend out of this, so that's what made it the best week ever. Okay. So basically, I go to Florida. Okay, I'm 2 weeks fresh out of a breakup, freshly 16, and I am devastated. I'm still feeling emo. I'm feeling sad. And then I get to Florida, and then I see these boys, and I'm like, I can have a crush again. And that changed my whole perspective because I hadn't had a crush in literally a year. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well now I'm gonna go insane and like make a notes list in my phone of every guy I have a crush on here. I think I got to like 9. So anyways, it would be like restaurant boy, beach boy 2, beach boy 3. So first I meet these 2 guys. They have insane names. I don't know if I can say them. They are crazy. They are characters. They are something. And they are just so odd, but like they were cool. And we just like walked around with them, me and my sister, and we just like walked around with them. We threw a little football. That was it. That was the extent of it. Never saw them again. But that's when I realized I'm free. And before this, I was like dead set on like, I wish I was married right now. Like I want to be married now. Like I want to be married. I want to be 30 years old, have a full-time job, have kids. Like I just want to be stable.
You just said you had just turned 16. What are you talking about? Girl, what? And it's always the ones with the crazy eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. And she seems batch crazy. This idea of recommending a hoe phase, oh, well, I don't mean having sex. I don't mean doing this. I mean, like, let's not try to rebrand what hoe phase means, right? This is essentially what she's doing. She's trying to rebrand it. Oh, it's wholesome. I was 16 and I had a hoe phase. That's not what that is. And not only that, you know, when you push out this messaging of 16 hoe phase, like, understand what you're saying. Regardless if you say, well, I didn't touch anyone, you're still putting out that propaganda that 16-year-olds should have a hoe phase, which, ew, absolutely not. Your brain isn't even close to being fully developed. There's no reason you should be out here spreading eagle or having a hoe phase, even if you want to say you didn't touch anybody. That same wording, we know what it means. When you say 16 and hoe phase in the same sentence, we know what you're pushing. Even if you give that disclaimer, I don't mean touching anybody, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna need y'all to protect your kids, okay? Do not let your kids just scroll through TikTok because they're gonna come across crazies like this who are going to influence them into doing something stupid, okay? Influence them into putting themselves in dangerous situations.
My whole phase started at age 52. I'm 54 years old. Started at 52. Now, when is it going to end? I can't tell you that. Only my knees can tell us that. Okay. Honey, I'm out here living my best life. No regrets. Okay? I love you. Bye.
Somebody to come get their mama and delete TikTok off her phone. Girl, what? This is what I'm talking about. You have not entered the next season of your life. You're still out here wanting to be like a little teeny bopper. Talking about some hoe phase at 50, 52. Girl, you should be in somebody's kitchen baking a sweet potato pie and some collard greens for the cookout. Like, what are you doing? You should be preparing for Thanksgiving. What are you doing? I'm disturbed by this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very disturbed by this. Okay, the comment section makes all of this even worse. I just started my hoe phase at 49 because why not? Ew. My hoe phase was 18 to 51. Girl, what? My hoe phase was 52 to 57, child. I had the best time of my life. LOL. I'm still living my best life at 60. We got this. Y'all heifers are deranged. There's no other way to say it. Y'all are deranged and insane. Talking about some hoe phase in your 50s. Y'all are in your grandma era. You shouldn't be talking about no damn hoe phase.
I don't know. I'm from Chicago, so we use hoe phase. And hoe phase is not really like you really being a hoe. Because in Chicago, if you a hoe, you just a hoe. There's no phase behind it. But hoe phase is really just like another term for dating. It's like you're not with anybody. You're talking to multiple people. You're entertaining. You're figuring out what you like. Most of the time, it doesn't even require sex. You're just not attached to nobody. You're not jumping from relationship to relationship. You're literally figuring out what you do and don't like in a person, in a partner. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Rebranding. You're trying to rebrand what a hoe phase is. We know what a hoe phase is, and the reason why they're rebranding it is because they did go out and they did sleep with a lot of men, but now they want to change what the word means so that when they say, oh, I had a hoe phase, no, it just means I was dating. It just means I was talking to people. It doesn't mean I was sleeping with them. This is all this is. It's programming so that when you hear these old hoes say that they had a hoe phase, you think, oh, they were just dating. It was so innocent. No, it wasn't. Okay. They was having freaknik every weekend. You know exactly what you meant by hoe phase. And a lot of you old hoes was out here spreading eagle with the same group of men. And then now you want to rebrand what a hoe phase is so that when you use that phrase or when they see old videos of you using that phrase to describe the season you were in, they think it's wholesome. Oh, they just mean dating. Oh, they just mean dating. No, they don't. Okay. They're rebranding it. So no longer is hoe phase spreading eagle. Now it's dating. Well, why don't you just say dating? Why don't you just say I'm in my dating season? No, because it's not what it actually means. You are in a hoe phase. You're in a hoe phase where you really need to close it up. This rebranding it's sick. And if anyone falls for this, I'm sorry, you're slow. Meet me after the video and I got some snake oil I can sell you if you're falling for this propaganda that hoe phase doesn't mean what it means. It even has the word hoe in the title. Like, are we just gonna pretend that words don't have meaning now? I can't with this. And anyone who falls for this, you have your broad say, oh, well, when I went my hoe phase, I was just dating. And if you fall for that, you deserve everything that you get. If she is out here tap dancing, trying to explain to you how a hoe phase was just her dating, understand the moment you accept those terms and conditions, you're a simp. Okay, you're a simp, you have no self-respect, and I'm gonna need you to get your standards up off the floor. Actually, I need you to get them out of hell. Because if you're accepting a woman that proudly flaunts how she had a hoe phase, your standards are all the way down there with Satan himself, okay? Get your standards up off the floor.
But I just wanted to get on here real quick because I kind of relate. She kind of talks about about the hoe phase, but not the hoe phase in the traditional sense of like just busting it down on any man you see, but she had never really had any experiences with men outside of her family and like outside of movies and pop culture.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop with these Ring cameras, right? Like you realize how insane this looks? It's not giving what you think it's giving, which is illuminating your face. It's just creating these weird circles in your glasses. Understand the purpose of lighting and use it accordingly, okay? Because this looks insane. It's hard for me to focus. But I love your twist out. Okay, your twist out is popping. Stop with the Ring camera. Okay, you better off with some natural lighting. Or if you are gonna use the Ring camera, take off the glasses because we're just gonna see this and it's gonna be so distracting.
I had my first boyfriend at 21. When I tell you that was like a crash course in manology, I was just not prepared. Like I wasn't prepared for what came with being around a man or men in general. It's really frustrating because I see my friends, like the way that they deal with men. And it's really hard. Like I really struggle. It's like them dropping you in the middle of a country where no one speaks your language. Because I wasn't exposed to dating at a young age. I didn't date, until after college. And then the pandemic happened on top of it. But she made the point of talking about how, she didn't know how men were, like who men really were, until she got into a relationship and that relationship failed and, yada, yada. In a lot of ways, I really wish I would have dated, You know, and my people used to say like, oh, he's gonna run circles around you because you have no idea how men are.
But you don't need a hoe phase in order to like learn these things. So don't let these women, these broads, rope you into doing something that is going to be to your own detriment. And it's okay that you want to go out and date, but do not rebrand this as being a hoe. A hoe is something very specific. It's someone very specific. And the moment we start opening the floodgates to calling dating being a hoe, you're rebranding something so that the real hoes can fly under the radar, right? They can fly under the radar and just say, well, look, everyone's going through a hoe phase, aka dating, but that's not the same thing. And you can learn how to navigate relationships without going through a hoe phase, without spreading ego for every man that you meet, without degrading yourself and putting yourself in a position where when the right man shows up and then he's asking you about your past because he wants to know who you are as a person, because understand we are a product of our choices. The best way to predict behavior is to see what you've been doing. If you've been sliding down every pole you can find, that's going to tell the man something very important about you and your character and your morals and whether or not he wants to even take the time to deal with somebody like you. So don't sully yourself because the man that's for you, that would have been amazing for you, if you go and have a lifestyle prior to meeting him that's going to disgust him, understand you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, and that man that is for you is going to pass up on you, that good man, because you decided to have a hoe phase. Like most problems, it's just women leading women down the path of ruining their lives. I think a lot of women struggle with this mentality of misery loves company. And because they ruined their life, they want to normalize ruining your life so that they feel more comfortable in their decisions. It's not that I'm just a shitty woman. It's that women in general just struggle with this. Oh, this is just an every woman problem. No, it's you. Whenever you see propaganda that is pushing for women to do something that is going to hurt them in the long run, understand these old hoes, the reason why they're doing that is because misery loves company. They are going to try to convince the younger women to make the same mistakes that they made so that they don't feel like what they did was a mistake. If every woman's doing the same thing, then I guess it's not a mistake. It's all of us. Understand what these older women are doing. It is not to help you. It is not to try to guide you. They pretend like it's guidance, but really it's just them trying to harm the competition because they see you as competition, right? It goes back to that conversation I've been saying about women not growing up. They see these younger women as competition, and rather than guiding the younger women as they should, because that should be the season that they're in, instead they are trying to ruin the competition through some mean girl, I'm gonna be nice to you in your face, but whole time I'm feeding you nonsense and I'm coercing you into doing things that are gonna hurt you. Also, I can get one over on the competition. That's all this is. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you agree with me that this rebranding of a hoe phase is nonsense and it's going to be to our own detriment? Or do you think, yeah, no, a hoe phase is just women dating? It's just dating. No big deal. I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, then like the video. Also, you can hype the video. I have that function now. You know, if you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy me a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.